Yeah. So Mark Mungai Kuria, uh, finalist at the University of Nairobi, Sociologist. Right now, as much as I'm in school, I'm volunteering for a certain NGO in the US. It's called the Human Survival Project. We are working on having reforms in the United Nations, as there is no such organization that does that. So I'd like to talk about challenges we face as the young people, especially as young people living with disabilities, where we face quite a number of challenges when it comes to jobs and employment. Like as I've mentioned, for my case, it's volunteering. I've volunteered for a number of organizations, and this is my third organization where I'm volunteering. So maybe I can start with the accessibility to the National Council of Persons with Disabilities office, like the one we have in Thika. That place is very inaccessible. I was there some time back, and I had to keep on sending my dad back and forth from the car to the office, because I couldn't get out of the car because the place is not wheelchair friendly and it's not even accessible. Mind you, it's a persons with disabilities office, and there's no ramp or nothing. It's kwanza there's a kama mtaro, you have to jump a mtaro so that you can get into the office. You can imagine the challenges that we face. So the other part is still talking of physical accessibility barriers, especially in most workplaces in the county. There are no adequate accessible places for us people with disabilities. Like you'll find a building which is a commercial building. There are no ramps, there are no elevators, and you're supposed to get maybe to the office upstairs when you're looking for certain services, and so you will not, in short, it's not accessible. You will not be able to access this stuff. Also, as you've seen, like what has happened today, the reason why I'm seated here down, it's because this place is not accessible. And if it was, there could have been a ramp or maybe some other way of getting up there. Unfortunately, these are the physical accessibility barriers I'm talking about. Then there's discriminatory hiring practices, where there's discrimination when it comes to hiring people with disabilities, especially the youth, as the employers. Some hold misconceptions about the capabilities of individuals with disabilities. Like you'd see for my case, I'm disabled. Like my hands are not functioning. Then you'll tell someone I can easily operate a computer or a laptop, and as an employer, what will you think? This person is going to be slow, this person is not going to manage and achieve the goals and achieve the company goals that they needed. You see such things. So the employers may hold misconceptions about the capabilities of us people living with disabilities, and they are most likely going to be unwilling to make accommodations, as mind you, our accommodations also come at a cost. They're quite expensive, and that's leading to exclusion from the workforce. Then there's limited access to education, as many young people with disabilities in the county, we face barriers to accessing quality education. Lack of accessible schools. Like I'll tell you, in my school there are a number of offices that I'm not able to access, and for me to access them I have to be carried up to the offices. You can imagine it's such a hassle, but still I appreciate my school. They've been supportive, and I've been able to study from home until up to now when I'm I've just finished my school and waiting on to graduate. Okay, then I'll move to the next thing. There is a stigma and social isolation. This is a stigma that surrounds persons with disabilities as it persists in many communities. You'll find that most of the cases, people with disabilities, since the places are not accessible, so they tend to spend most of their time in the house, at home. You're not going anywhere, so that leads to stigma and social isolation, leading to that results to discrimination against us young people living with disabilities. Also, we get to have negative attitude from our peers, employers, community members. Then this erodes our confidence and limit our opportunities for social and professional integration, so that we may be able to be easily integrated to the community and the society at large. Then there's financial constraints. Like right now, there's I understand that us as people living with disabilities, we are supposed to register again. Mind you, this registration is going to cost us a given amount, and we tunatoa wapi pesa? We are not working. Like as I've told you, I'm not working, and most of the people I know living with disabilities, they are not working, and they depend on donations and support from maybe their family members if they are well off, and if kama kuna hiyo, then yani tunaishi tu. You just have to live by your own means and for you to survive. So many young people in living with disabilities in the county, we come from low income households. Like for my case, my mom does not work, my dad does not work, and nikiwaambia hivyo some might wonder, and how comes he has such a laptop and such a phone or such things. You see, these things, I told you I have been volunteering for given NGOs, and like there's one NGO which volunteered to get for me a laptop, and another one they volunteered to get for me a good phone, so that I can continue working for them and playing that specific role that I'm playing. So these low income households, it exerts a lot of a huge financial burden to us, and we and lack of access to financial resources for education, training, transportation, and healthcare. So that takes me to the next point, which is healthcare accessibility. Most young people with disabilities, us, we often require ongoing medical care and support services to maintain our health and well-being. Like if I tell you right now, in a day I will spend like close to 1,000 and close to like to 2K, and in a month my total budget would come to close to 70,000, because I'm not ashamed to say that I use catheters, I use diapers, I take lots of medicine, and these drugs are quite expensive, as they are for an average generation. It's quite expensive. It's a very expensive, and also to access such medical health care, it is quite tough. It is tough. T for tough. So young people with disabilities often require, okay, however, to access these medical services, they are limited in the county, and also particularly in the rural areas, like where I come from, Likoni. I think the nearest hospital where maybe I would get help is Nyadhona hospital, and kufika huko, it's another hassle because ni milima na mabonde. Then also still on healthcare accessibility, it makes it difficult for us to manage our health condition and effectively while pursuing employment. So I don't think there is any employer who will take you in when you have not in a position to like you're not in good health. I don't think there is any employer who will take that burden for you, not unless I don't know, not unless you ametoka wapi. So like right now, if I tell you I need like 10 million to get, because I'm supposed to travel for specialized healthcare in the US. Like right now, I have a budget of like 10 million, which is needed so that I can travel for specialized treatment. And you see, I'm not working. Nimejaribu ku apply kazi here and there. It's a hassle, man. It's a hassle. Then there is lack of disability specific employment programs. In the county, we lack disability specific employment programs and initiatives that aimed at supporting us young people living with disabilities to help us find and maintain employment without targeted services, such as jobs, without the targeted support services needed for us people with disabilities, such as jobs placement assistance. We need like job placement assistance and skills development programs. Like I see in the US, there is a lot of they have job placements like organizations, like they have even softwares and applications where you can only post jobs for specific group of people. Like now, if it's focusing on people with disabilities, they have jobs websites and also forms where they list jobs for people with disabilities, and these jobs are exclusively for persons living with disabilities. Okay, then just a minute. Then there's family and caregiving responsibilities. As young people living with disabilities in the county, we have family and caregiving responsibilities, and that is like today you've seen I'm here with my uncle, and he's the one who's taking care of me today because my mom is somewhere looking for money, my dad is somewhere looking for money, so that they'd be able to support me. Okay, so responsibilities. This limits our abilities to pursue full-time employment. Also, there is cultural expectations and traditional gender roles, and these may place additional pressure to us young individuals, and especially women, to prioritize caregiving duties over their own career aspirations. Like another reason why my mom like stopped working is so that she can take care of me, and yeah, because also affording a caregiver outside of um, outside of family, someone who's going to be taking care of you, and is not family, they are also expensive. And mind you, I'm not employed, but sijapata kazi pahali. Okay. Then there is a limited economic policy. I've lost it. Then there's limited networking opportunities. Networking, okay. Limited networking opportunities. Networking is very crucial for accessing job opportunities. But us as young people living with disabilities in Kiambu County, we have limited access to professional networks and mentorship opportunities. Without such connections in our desired fields, we struggle to secure employment or advance in our careers. Mind you, I mentioned a while back that we need care, so, and also there is transportation barriers with poor roads, so that in a way that wheelchairs cannot easily move. This makes us become limited to networking opportunities. Okay, then there is a policy, inadequate policy support. Actually, still on about inaccessibility infrastructure. I think thank God and also the community, the county, because at least our area is right now easily accessible. If it was a while back, I can assure you that I'd be staying at home. Will it be going anywhere? Okay, then there is inadequate policy support. There is inadequate policy support for us young people with disabilities in Kiambu County, including insufficient disability, inclusive employment policies, and lack of enforcement mechanisms without supportive policies and legal frameworks. These efforts to promote equal employment opportunities for young people living with disabilities. So the office of the youth and sports, they need to consider implementing policies which will favor the young people living with disabilities. I can tell you for sure fact is that there are many out there. It's only that they're not able to come out as they way have been able to do so today. And there is a lack of the disability. Okay, there is a psychosocial challenges. Most young people living with disabilities and mostly talk of acquired disability. That is, acquired disability is like for my case, I was fine up to 22 years old, and then I got into an accident and became disabled. That is what I mean by acquired disability. We tend to get a lot of psychosocial challenges, and us as young people living with disabilities, we experience such psychosocial challenges like low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, and as a result of this disability experience of discrimination, the psychosocial barriers, they affect our motivation and confidence and the ability to effectively search for and secure employment opportunities. Then
and I shall cut you short, Mark.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you. Or how many points are remaining?
Like 2.
Okay, just finish the 2 kindly.
Okay. Then I've talked of environmental. Actually, it's one. Limited access to financial resources. Us as young people with disabilities in Kiambu County, we face barriers on accessing financial resources like loans, grants, scholarships to support our education and career goals. Financial constraints, these limit our ability to pursue higher education, vocational training, and entrepreneurial ventures, perpetuating to cycles of poverty and unemployment. So, as a sociologist, we tend to point out problems and suggest a solution for given problems, and to address, and just a suggestion to the county to address these challenges. It requires a coordinated effort from several government agencies, non-profits, the employers who are with us here today, civil societies, and the community to create an inclusive and accessible environment where all young people, including us living with disabilities, have equal opportunities to participate in the workforce and contribute to the local economy. That's all for now.
Amesema yote, si ni kweli?